Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we proudly present our spectacular show of podcast magic and imagination full of Disney wonder, news, and pop culture. It's the Main Street Electrical Podcast with Jenn Dave and David Dollar.
Hey, Dave!
It's Main Street Electrical Podcast. Episode number 93. 93 straight weeks. I don't think I've done anything for 93 straight days besides, I can't even say sleep. Because
well, I mean, not 93 straight days, but weeks.
Yeah, 93 straight weeks is pretty impressive. So here we are back again. I'm Dave, and that's Jen. We're your hosts for the Main Street Electrical Podcast, talking about all kinds of fun Disney stuff and things like that. We're going to talk about drinking. Talk a little bit about drinking later on, so that'll be a fun episode. I can't tell you if Jen's had anything to drink or not. So we'll get to that later, though. But first, Jen, I'm not going to say it. But first, Jen, how did you Disney this week?
Oh gosh. Well, I Disneyed this week. We watched just a little bit of Disney Plus over the weekend. Nothing new to me, just kind of some old favorites. You know, it's always nice to watch a show.
Like Black Cauldron. Did you go back to that? Was that fun?
Yeah, totally. No, it was the Muppets because I love
Oh. Did you watch the show or the movies or?
Just one of the movies. It was the most well, I can't say the most because it wasn't Muppets Most Wanted. It was the
Muppets
original reboot.
Yeah, it's the Muppets from 2011. Jason
Muppets,
Segel, Amy Adams. Such a great film.
It's such a good one.
Muppets Most Wanted, I think was fun and good. I think it was. If you're a Muppet fan, you'd like it. I think there's some problems with it. It's not nearly as enjoyable. It wasn't.
Yeah.
I feel like the Muppets from 2011. It really just. Like lightning in a bottle because it came out of nowhere and people were like, we're clamoring for Muppet stuff. And it was a good movie.
It was such a good movie.
It was fun. I love Jason Segel. You know my thing with Amy Adams. We're together.
Yeah, it
she
was
and I.
So
and
good.
It was such a good film. And one of the best uses of Paul Simon's Me and Julio Down by the Schoolyard ever.
Oh my gosh.
Because that's we'll travel by map. And of course they travel across and the music. And I really want to use that song in like an agency montage of pictures and stuff just because it's so much fun.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
But for me, for video people, I'm wearing my Stacey shirt. I got my Stacey shirt on, loud and proud, which is exciting, which is awesome. I mean, I was gonna say, well, I did my park passes for my my March trip. We finally got our tickets in, and we got the kids' ticket, which by the way I could enter in our system. We got the kids' ticket and all that, and so we got our park passes set up, and our whole trip was set up with exciting dining and blah blah blah. But I'm wearing my Stacey shirt. I'm really excited about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Stacey, I'm your host, Stacey. And I thought about getting the hat that says I'm your host. I wouldn't wear it at the same time because that would be kind of creepy.
That would be hilarious, though.
I'm afraid that most people wouldn't get it. Like if this was 2008, people would totally understand it and get it. I feel like 2022, I don't think people would get that. And it's not something like fun going, that's an unusual hat. What does that mean? It's just something you would see and not really pay attention to. Oh, well, what that means and keep walking. So there's no chance for talking. But this, however, I'm definitely wearing my shirt in the park, so I'm pretty excited. Pretty excited about all of that.
That's awesome.
So, you are going to the Starcruiser like in a couple of days, correct?
Well, as of when this airs, just a few days. So
obviously you can't. We'll be hearing on the internet, on Al Gore's interwebs, all about the Starcruiser in a couple of days. Maybe by Friday or Saturday, people start talking about what they love. I know there's a news embargo on it right now because a lot of influencers and podcasters, not us, by the way,
not us.
And eventually, quasi-producer Heather will be one of those influencers, and she will be there the next time they open up. When they open up a Marvel hotel or whatever, Heather will be there, not understanding anything.
I was going to say, not knowing what
I don't know what this is. There's a shawarma restaurant. I'm not sure what's going on here, but hey, I'm here. But yeah, so they all got to go, but you get to go in a couple of days. And unlike them, you have paid for your trip.
Oh, I've paid for my experience.
You can be very vocal and open. But leading up to it, what have you had to do so far? Like, what conversations have you had? Have they called you? You called them? What would people expect if they're doing this leading up to the trip?
So I have definitely gotten notifications in my email, of course, the one that's attached to my My Disney Experience account. And so I have gotten notifications that my personalized itinerary is up. Like it's viewable basically. So I can sort of see what's happening and what's going on. It's really interesting because this is one of those experiences that you are going to need a smart device. And this is what we have found out like through my personal experience. So I have been in touch with them because I wanted to build lightsabers, and we wanted to grab an Oga's Cantina reservation. Cause like, if we're going to do Star Wars, like we're doing all of Star Wars. Fun fact, they do have different appointment slots for people on the Starcruiser because, and it's just because,
for it, so.
Well, yeah. And it's a 2-night sailing. I mean, you still have to pay, like I still have to pay to build a lightsaber.
Right.
Like that's included, but there are appointment slots and they schedule it around everything else that's happening. So in the course of these phone calls, I have discovered from cast members who have experience and like done various like cast member previews that number one, there is a fashion show the first night.
That's so strange to me.
There is a galactic
with cast members, or do
show.
Guests get to do their own fashion?
I'm assuming that we get to like, they're just like, come show off your outfits, I guess.
Right.
So sweet. I'm prepping for that now.
I love it. Love that.
And then also you have to use the data pad, which is part of the Play Disney app, which that's always been a thing in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. You've always been able to use the data pad to, translate things and interact with whatever.
Right.
So you have to be logged in. But this even includes kids, because I actually booked clients on the Starcruiser, and this particular client has 4 kiddos, all between the ages of like 6 and 12. And the cast member was saying that, whether it's an iPad or an iPhone, they really need to have that. They sent some sort of directions for how to sign up so that, it's under the purview of the parent,
right?
Basically, they can just access like Star Wars stuff. But yeah, like I've been getting push notifications like, hey, view your itinerary, and this is like when you set sail, and this is your muster drill, and it's like, oh, okay, so
that's exciting,
very exciting. And of course, I'll have more, I'm sure, as it gets closer.
Of course, I can't wait to talk about. I mean, next week's episode might be all about the Starcruiser.
It might be, right?
Which is awesome. But for the listeners, and if you've never been, you have to do the lightsaber appointments or Oga's Cantina like 60 days ahead of time. You have to go in 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. when it opens up and get there. And so now you're given a chance for those slots. You don't have to go on 60 days ahead of time. Right. You just pick a slot. Obviously, like you said, you have to pay for it, so they don't give it to you free. But now you get to go to Galaxy's Edge.
But you do have to call in and say, "Hey, I need to do this." So
and remember, the Starcruiser doesn't actually go into space. It actually doesn't fly. So it's not technically transportation, so you don't have to wear a mask in the Starcruiser itself.
Correct.
You do, however, when being transported on the little Starcruiser shuttle from the Starcruiser to
on your transport.
On your transport.
To Batu.
On your transport. Very good. That's exactly what I was looking for there. So let's do a little bit of news here. All right, first up, the Flower and Garden Festival starts next week, and I am super excited. Every time I think that the Food and Wine Festival is my favorite, I go to the Flower and Garden Festival. I'm like, well, maybe this is my favorite.
It's my favorite.
I love it. I love the Flower and Garden. I love the topiaries. I love the fact they grow all year, and some of the ones that they bring out that are older, they bring out the same ones every year. Every year they also have new ones. The challenge is to go around and get pictures of everything because they're all Instagrammable, and you got to take those fancy shots where like you've got the Peter Pan and the Captain Hook, but it's such a long display. You gotta kind of stand at one end and take pictures, or we got Pooh and Tigger. You're trying to get people out of your shot to take pictures, and it's a stressful environment, but I love it. It's great.
It starts
March the 4th, I believe, all the way through July the 4th. And somebody asked a great question on this. They ask if you go on like June the 28th to 29th, can you still expect to get the Flower and Garden Festival environment, even though the Flower and Garden Festival is almost over? And the answer to that is yes, and I'm going to say 98% of that because your Garden Rocks concerts are over.
Right.
I would say a lot of your appointment stuff in terms of special kitchens that are happening, special demonstrations that are happening, guest stars coming in probably aren't coming on June 28th, 29th.
Right.
But all your food booths will be open. Your merch likely might be sold out, so if you have like a key,
well, just depending on whatever it is,
or a shirt or something that's limited edition, that's probably going to be sold out. They're not going to roll those out on June 29th going, here's some extras. But that will all everything else will be there, which is really awesome. And like Nate Bronsky, which I would love to have him on the show, by the way. He's the one that did the sidewalk art for Epcot. If you followed our pages, Upon a Star Travel on Instagram or The Magic on a Dollar on Instagram, you will have seen us posting some of those. And some of the sidewalk art he has made is incredible. Did you see the Encanto art he did?
Oh my gosh.
It's incredible.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, that's a sidewalk there. And I kept studying the picture. I would zoom in and looking for the creases of the sidewalk because it's just a flat sidewalk, but it looks like it's an in-depth staircase that goes downstairs into the basement of the house of the Madrigal. And just, it looks incredible. And just some of the stuff he's done is just amazing. I don't even know what we talked to him about going. It'd be like Chris Farley on Saturday Night Live going, remember that picture you drew on the sidewalk? That was cool, right? Cool. Okay, I mean that's exactly what I would be. I wouldn't know, but still, it's incredible stuff. So that all is to say that stuff's still going to be going on up until July 4th.
Yes.
It's the 4th of July, so of course they're going to have food and gardens, flower and garden.
You mean
stuff
flower and
going on.
garden? Yeah.
Yeah, that too. Food and garden and flower and wine. Because they want people in line at all the food booths so they can get them out of the walkways because it's going to be so busy at Epcot this year.
Oh my gosh, there's so much going on at Epcot, but it's okay.
Can you imagine, and this is going to get to what we're going to talk about next, can you imagine how busy it is right now, obviously, in February, Memorial Day?
Well, I will be able to tell you because guess who's there?
Are you going to be there Memorial Day?
It's my birthday weekend. Always butts up against Memorial Day.
Which is really exciting because, and this is rumor.
It's rumor.
Please, folks, hear me. Rumor. And I almost want to play the backdrop of Atomic Social Club's Rumors song in the background, just so people will understand.
I heard a rumor.
That too, or look at all these rumors surrounding me every. Have you heard that song? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh, you're so young. 1985, Atomic Social Club. Look at all these rumors surrounding me every day. It's. Yeah, anyway,
my version was better.
Song. Yeah, your version was better. She could sing. So, or rumors, Fleetwood Mac, whatever. I heard, yeah. So, rumor is, and there's a couple of sites reporting this. So, I'm not just going on just one single site. I'm seeing this around a couple of sites. That there is a leak from Disney higher ups that Guardians of the Galaxy is likely going to open Memorial Day weekend. Okay.
Yes.
Now, again, that is a rumor. Disney may actually hear this podcast and go, well, you know what? We're going to change that now just because of that. I don't know. I don't know, Josh.
Come on, Bob.
If you're going to take decisions and suggestions from the Main Street Electrical podcast, Bob, don't do it from that particular piece of news.
Right.
So, there are other things that we would like to suggest.
There's way other things. Feel free to call either of us.
Exactly. We'll talk to you about it. But no, okay, so Guardians of the Galaxy, and we will talk about this much more in depth. But my prediction simply is it's going to have to be a virtual queue. It's going to have to be a virtual queue.
I would think it would have to.
There's no way, because you would have people lined up through the parks for this. Because
I mean, this is going to be like times a zillion.
Yes, times a zillion.
Times a zillion.
Like
from what we've seen
of what Remy was. Times a zillion.
Yes.
Even from what Rise of the Resistance was, because this is.
Or even
so
Space 220.
Terrible. Or Space 220. Yeah, I mean, and now you can actually get Space 220 on a semi-regular basis. We got it for our trip in March. We actually had lunch and dinner planned.
It's getting better.
It's getting better. It's great.
It's getting better.
And Remy is now standby, which is went to standby only a couple months after it opened.
That went pretty quickly to standby, which I don't think I'm surprised because it does move people through pretty quickly. So
over under and how much you think it's going to cost for individual lightning lane for Guardians, because again, it's going to be a virtual queue.
It's going to max out. I guarantee 15.
I'm thinking $25 a person.
But
I'm thinking 20 to $25.
Well, they have said though, unless they increase what they've said, they've put the cap on the maximum at 15 in their documentation. At least that's what at least initially it was saying between $7 and $15. So the most expensive we've seen so far is 15.
Right. I would still say I'm guessing 20 or 25, at least for Memorial Day weekend, holiday surge pricing, July 4th, whatever.
I mean, that's going to be nuts. Now,
and it's going to be nuts, and it's going to disappear so quickly.
I do have a feeling, I mean, even for Remy, they did annual pass holder previews.
Right.
So I would imagine that there will be some of some soft opens.
I think so.
So,
unfortunately,
not to say that'll help.
Yet, so we can't purchase them because I like to make a special weekend to go down there just for like one. I'd drive down there, ride it, spend the day, and drive back.
And then just
one
leave.
Trip. I don't even think I'd sleep. I think I'll sleep in the car at a rest stop or something.
Yeah.
I would do that, especially if any of us were going to go down there and meet up to do that. But yeah, that would be amazing. I am thinking 20 or 25. I think they're gonna, for special trips like this. Tron's gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be nuts.
Tron's gonna be the same thing. Yeah.
It'll be, and I can see them, with the exception of certain attractions, doing a cap of $15. But yeah, I could see them doing 20 or 25 for this because it will sell out.
It's going to sell out really fast.
Because for every 5 people you have going, I'm not paying that. You got 10 more that will be like, double that.
100%.
I would pay $40 for that just for one time to ride it the first weekend or so, to have it ridden, to be able to talk about it, to post about it, to experience it. I would pay $30 or $40 for that one time. I am just so.
I'm just so excited that I mean, if it's a true rumor, we already had reservations.
I know,
it's
right?
not like even like we had to be like, oh my gosh, let's go. No.
But again, it's a rumor. It is a rumor. So follow our pages. We'll give you the information at the end of the show. But follow our pages. We will let you know as soon as it's available. When and if Disney confirms it.
Yes.
But it would make sense Memorial Day because you want to capitalize on the entire summer versus opening it up like in July 4th or whatever. Because
and also it has been out there so long, and with all the construction at Epcot, they need. And
they need to win.
they need.
And
they
I
need to
hate
win.
saying Epcot needs to win because that makes it feel like they're hitting losses, but
Which they're not. But they need.
something.
They need something because it has been torn apart now since what 22. Gosh, early 2020, wasn't it?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, or even late 2019. It has just been torn apart for so long.
It's time to put something.
And
like that in
I saw
place,
where they extended the permits for that like front end, you know, so obviously COVID set back the construction. Like we all know that, but with all the construction walls, they need that. So,
and I think they're getting to it. I think they're getting back to it. I think it's starting to ramp up. I'm hearing that Tron, the construction on that, is ramping up faster. People, I'm hearing a lot of Disney influencers and bloggers talk about how much they're seeing being added to it, like on a daily basis, like that. You know, big pieces, big chunks are being added to it or whatever. So I'm thinking maybe even Christmas, like November.
That would be awesome.
That would be amazing.
Because guess what? I'm going to be down there in December, so it's fine.
Yes, you will. And so will we.
And so will you.
For the fam trip and the lovely wife and the lovely child and the lovely mother-in-law. They heard that I was going down there for a couple of days. And, of course, my mother-in-law is like, well, why can't we go down there and take Campbell for his birthday? So the plan is I'm going to stay at Pop for a couple of days. They're probably going to check into, like, Saratoga Springs for a couple of days after. And Stephanie seriously has already said, and we'll probably just send you home because you've already been there. Like, of course you will. Why not? So
we have to work.
Pretty much, I have to work.
You have to go.
Exactly. So, so Main Street Electrical Parade, of which this podcast was named after, because the Spectro podcast didn't quite roll off the tongue like we wanted to. Making the return to Disneyland Resort and the new grand finale to include Encanto. And so, April 22nd, the Main Street Electrical Parade will come back to Disneyland. And this is a retired parade that's been gone forever, but this is one they keep in storage. So, like, let's bring it back because at this point, people are chomping at the bit. Bring us a parade. We don't care. Just bring us something. So they're bringing it back. I would even take that Disney World. If I had my choice, I might go something else, but I would take it just to have a parade at night. But it's supposed to come back. It came back the summer of 2019. Then it was supposed to be gone. Now it's back. I
just am not going to believe them when they retire it from now on. Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's the last time. Like, okay.
Exactly. It's just exactly. I feel like the Main Street Electrical Parade is like a professional wrestler in the WWE. Every time they go to retire, they come back for one more match and one more match and one more match. And at some point, you're done, Matt. You're done. Stop. You can't do this anymore. You can't take these hits anymore. You can't take these bumps anymore. Goldberg, I'm talking to you. You can't do this anymore. You're too old and you get hurt too fast. So you're brought in for the filler. So yeah. And I'm sure you got all of those references, by the way.
Exactly. Vaguely.
Also returning Fantasmic performing nightly. From May 28th in Frontierland with Disney scenes, Lion King, Tangled, Aladdin, Pirates, blah, 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 all on the rivers of America, which I like the Fantasmic out there better than I do the one at Disney World, but we don't know what the Disney World is going to look like when it comes back, so who knows? Hopefully it will be a little different. So, yeah, so that's returning, and of course, as we said, the Main Street Electrical Parade, the ending float's going to be a little different. Instead of that big, really, really long, big flag they're doing, they're going to actually have some different floats on there. The Encanto characters will be on there. I want to say Moana, a few other new cartoons and stuff. I will miss the flag. I liked the
flag. I did too.
But it's an old float. It's a very old float, and so there is a chance that even though they won't say it, there's a chance that float just doesn't hold up anymore because again, WWE wrestler, it's been put through the ringer. Right. It's been put through the ringer, so they might be done. Done with that completely. Disney World releasing their Run Disney event calendar for next year. This is so funny because when this popped up, somebody sent this to me in a chat. And I thought to myself, wow, 2023, Disney is looking really far ahead. And then it took me a second to realize that's next year. Oh,
I know.
In my mind, I was thinking 2024 was like, wow, they're really planning far ahead. Run Disney Virtual Race Series is June through August of this year. General registration will be April the 5th, and that's when we'll do the summer races and stuff, which I have myself a medal for that. I might sign up for one of those. 2022 Disney Wine and Dine Half Marathon Weekend, November 3rd through the 6th. There are various registrations starting on March 15th. The virtual event is the 25th. General registration is 22nd. So look for those dates there. 2023 Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend, which is next January. The registration is around April the 12th through the 22nd. A couple of days there for the Club Run Disney, general registration, virtual, blah, blah, blah. The 2023 Disney Princess Half Marathon Weekend. presented by Corksicle. February 23rd to the 26th, 2023. The registration for that starts in June. And the 2023 Run Disney Springtime Surprise Weekend, which this replaces the Star Wars Dark and
Star
Light,
Wars,
whatever it was called.
mhm.
Good and Bad, Evil and Good, Goofus and Gallant, whatever it was called. That's next April, and registration for that begins in this August. They're actually doing a Run Disney Springtime Surprise Weekend this year. And again, I don't know if that means they don't know the theme or if they have the theme but they're keeping it hidden. I'm not really sure how that works. But I do know that my very first Disney Run Disney event is going to be the Princess next February. There's a couple of us. Quasi-Producer Heather, our friend Gail, Kyla, and a few others were all talking about going down there for the weekend and running it all together. I think a few other agents like Cliff and a few other people have mentioned coming down there as well for doing that. But that's kind of the goal. So Jen, you need to come with us as well. Because,
I might have to.
You run that ship. So I'm going to sign up for a 5K and a 10K. Those are my goals. I think everybody's doing the 5K because really we just want to kind of hang out and walk together for 3 miles. I want to do a 10K because I want to see that I can run 6 miles, which would be insane. And I hate running, so that'll be fun. but yeah, so
I've done my share.
You have done your share. Yeah, I've done your share. So finally, I want to talk about this real quick. And I'm throwing this story on you here, but Disney is honoring a 100-year-old World War II veteran. Last Friday, February 18th, they had a very special thank you with a flag retreat to a World War II veteran celebrating the 100th birthday over at Magic Kingdom Park. William McCroskey served our nation as a merchant marine, playing a role during the historic D-Day operation in Normandy, 1944. He helped transport replacement troops onto the beach. That anytime you say somebody was involved with D-Day, I automatically stand up and like you're the man.
Like literally,
exactly.
Like that's amazing.
He went on to transport personal supplies all over the world during the war and visited just about every seaport there is, including ports in Africa and Asia, serving till the end of the war, returning to with a wife to start a family after it was over. He and his family received the flag hoisted down by the Magic Kingdom security team and was honored with a parade down Main Street as guests applauded loudly. Ron, his son, said, "We're grateful to have Disney to honor my father in this way. We've created many memories here at the park with our family. Adding this one is a very special that we will cherish forever."
That's awesome.
Disney cast member and World War II U.S. Navy veteran Alex Stromsky was also in attendance wearing his Navy dress uniform. He's celebrating and honoring William. During the ceremony, Alex, along with members of the Disney Salute Veteran Affinity Group, presented William with a shadow box containing the flag that was flown over Magic Kingdom in his park. That is just super duper cool. Hats off to you, Mr. McCroskey. That's just, thank you for your service. Thank you for your family and the sacrifice. I just think that is an incredible story. It's on Disney Parks blog. We'll link to that on the show notes as well, but just a fantastic story.
So great.
I just think that's wonderful. I love it when Disney does stuff like that.
Same.
And you had the cast member, of course, dressing up as Navy Blues as well, steering the name tag, which is really fun.
Yeah.
I love all of that. So this past week, a fun little day too, also celebratory, Taco Tuesday and National Margarita Day on 2022, this past Tuesday. And I am not an alcoholic drinker. I am not a drinker of many alcoholic spirits. I know that, Jen, you were not either. Now, I will have one here and there. Had my very first margarita in Cancun in 2020.
I was there.
Mostly because of peer pressure. It was being forced upon me. I lived all my life until I was 45 with no peer pressure, never really having a whole lot of alcohol, having some here and there, but none. But then peer pressure.
No peer pressure until you were 45.
Until I was 45, seriously.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, well, seriously, I mean, like, honestly, when I was in high school and college, my friends were like, "We don't care if you drink. That means you can drive us home." And also, they're like, "More for us." I would bartend in college for people, for parties and stuff, but never have a single drop. Like, I literally would have, and I'm not kidding, I would have a little bottle of milk or chocolate milk or something off to the side.
Of
ice
milk? Okay, that's weird.
I like milk. I do. I like ice cold milk.
with you?
I do. It's just my thing. I would play tennis. And like a hot summer sun, me and my buddies would play. We'd play for hours and just be covered in sweat. We'd go to a gas station and they'd get like Powerade and water and Gatorade and whatever. And I would grab a little quart of milk and
that's disgusting.
Drink milk.
Oh,
right?
That's so
exciting.
nasty.
So anyway, what we wanted to do, what we thought would be fun, especially since we're celebrating Margaritaville or Margarita Day or whatever, is talk about some of the drinks in Disney World. But we recognize that not a lot of people, not everybody is a drinker. And so we want to talk about the non-alcoholic stuff that you can get. Okay, so we're going to
get,
kind of go through park by park and some of our favorites, some of our favorite drinks. Now, granted, I have not tried everything because there's a lot of drinking.
I mean, there's a lot.
A lot of things
there's
you can
a
get.
lot of stuff.
And on my list here of things that I threw down here, these are things. None of these are ice cream. None of these are milkshakes. There's a lot of things you can always get a good milkshake, get a good sundae, and I know at the Coke store in Disney Springs you can get like a Coke float, whatever, which is great. So these are all like teas and juices and things like that, purees and slushies and things, but no ice cream or anything like that for me. My first one I want to mention here, and this is great because Stephanie is so excited because we're going to Flower and Garden Festival to get the violet lemonade at Epcot. At the promenade, the pineapple promenade there at the garden, and it's only offered there. It's a violet drink with violet syrup. I don't know where you can get that. And lemonade. It's a purple drink with a little hibiscus flower on top that you can eat, by the way.
You can eat the flower, yes.
You can eat the flower. She says it's a little kind of chewy.
I mean, it's not great, but you can do it.
They're so good. They're so good.
Okay, what's hilarious is literally, that was the first one on my list, was violet lemonade.
Now, granted, I don't think either one of us have these ranked like this is our number one or whatever. We have our favorites and stuff. But that was the first one
I wrote down. I'm like, oh, gotta put the violet lemonade on.
Of course, you do have to put violet lemonade.
And Agent Meredith, when I met her in person for the first time, it was at Flower and Garden Festival, and I was her hand model holding up her violet lemonade so she could take a photo of it. So somewhere there's a photo with my fingernails and her violet lemonade.
That is so funny. Also, and these are the two that I have for Epcot. There's a ton of Epcot, but for Epcot that stand out to me is the Aqua Fresca at Via Napoli. If you walk in, you're going to see these 3 large container like beverage containers there on the counter, and they're all clear, and one's red, one's yellow, one's like an orange color, and that's the Aqua Fresca. It's like a juice, different flavors. I think one's like strawberry, like blood orange. I think there's blood orange, there's lemon, and of course you can add alcohol to anything you want, but they have those there, and they're not that expensive. But they serve the Aqua Fresca up. It's basically just either strawberry or orange, or the blood orange juice, basically. It's has to be coolers made with filtered water and fresh fruit juices, and they're just so good. And they're
good.
And
they're
I hate to use this word; it's very stereotypical, but they're refreshing.
Yes,
they're like it's June, it's July. You go in,
it's hot as crap.
Now, do you know if they have those at the window? Because I know they do pizza by the slice at the window there.
Ooh, I don't think so.
Maybe I mean, I don't know.
I honestly I don't know the answer to that. I mean, maybe. I mean, you would think they could just run into the restaurant and grab it, but.
Maybe so, but I will tell you that there is you get one of these like to go. Maybe you have your meal, enjoy your pizza, have your drink, whatever. Get one of these to go in the to go cup as you're walking out, and it's light and it's good. It's so just so tasty and just like, oh my gosh, it's 144 degrees in the shade here. It's the surface of the sun right now.
Literally surface of the sun.
I'm buy 2 Aqua Frescas. Strawberry, which I love the strawberry. Drink that one. Buy the lemonade so it don't stain, and just pour it over your head. Just do that, just to cool off. It's much easier. I mean, you're already sticky and hot and sweaty anyway, so just
So
at
why
least
not?
at least you can smell like a lemon. So
There you go. Okay, that's fair.
What else do you have for Epcot?
Oh gosh, for Epcot specifically, gosh, I don't really know that I have much else for only because I was focusing on a few other parks, but I will say Joffrey's because I can always do an iced coffee from Joffrey's. And I understand that that's not maybe something specifically Disney.
Right.
But even when it's hot, I love me an iced coffee. I love Joffrey's. And they have 2 locations, one over by Test Track and then one back in World Showcase. So they always have good.
Well, and they also have an outside location too before you go into the park.
Yes,
you're waiting
the outside
there in line. Your family's there. The line's kind of long. You're trying to get in the park. The park opens at 9:30. You're there at 8 o'clock. You're standing in line. Look over your shoulder. There's a Joffrey's.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go over here and get some coffee. You guys hold the space in line. Now I need a bunch of you hold space in line, not just one of you for 15 people, as we've established. That's the best.
That's bad behavior. But if one person goes, that's
one
acceptable.
Person goes. Get
totally
some coffee.
acceptable.
Get some coffee, definitely. And if you don't like your coffee at Joffrey's, Jen will send you some money to buy you a new one somewhere else. So thank you for that. Awesome. Let's jump over to Hollywood Studios. And I didn't really have a whole lot of Hollywood Studios. I
do have one
obvious one though. Go ahead.
Well, I have 2 actually.
Okay, go ahead with yours.
All right. So I'm going to do one that I don't think you're doing, but I could be wrong. Okay. The frozen Coke. They have frozen Coke in a couple of different locations. You didn't know that?
Okay. So I know they have frozen Coke in Animal Kingdom. Well, we'll get to that in a second, but I didn't realize they had the frozen Cokes in Hollywood
They have
Studios.
frozen Coke at Hollywood Studios. One is near Okay, it's like underneath one of the Roger Rabbit windows. That's like around the corner from some of the shops on Hollywood Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
That's one place. The other place
Okay.
is down near Rock and Roller Coaster.
There's two little marketplaces. There's a counter service down there, a little market down there. I know what you're talking about. So
Yeah,
okay,
so
there's,
you can get
there's
frozen Coke
one,
and frozen lemonade, actually.
There's one. I want the white building, I think, with the shutters. When
Yes.
they're closed, they pull the shutters down. There's that one, and next to it's like a counter service. So which one is
Yes.
the frozen Coke in, or is it both?
No. And what I mean is, no, literally down by
down
like
down the
down,
hill. I got you. Okay.
Like you are looking at the car and the big
Interesting.
guitar, and
I
there
don't
is like
think
a
I knew
little.
that.
Yep, and you can get frozen Coke right there.
Party
with or without
on.
alcohol. I mean,
Stephanie's gonna love
but
that.
yeah, they
She
have frozen
loves
Coke. They
Coke.
have frozen lemonade
Right.
in that little
Right.
thing.
Very cool. She's gonna love that. Now I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Now I'm wondering if you can get frozen Coke at Epcot or Magic Kingdom. If like
And
hidden
I was
somewhere.
saying it's harder to find there, but for sure
Yeah.
you can get them at Animal Kingdom and Hollywood
That's
Studios.
really cool.
The frozen
Okay.
Coke is one of our favorites.
Good deal. Well, of course, mine's gonna be blue milk. I love the blue milk.
I knew you were going to say
do.
that. That's why I didn't
love
say
blue
it.
milk, and that's really like that is
Yeah.
my favorite drink. I think at Walt Disney World. I love the blue milk. It's creamy. The blue, not the green one. The green one's trash.
The green is
The
terrible.
green one is just a dumpster
The green
fire.
sucks.
It's awful.
I'm sorry,
It's just
it's bad.
it's
It tastes like
terrible-
flowers, but
Yeah.
not good flowers.
Yeah, the blue one, the blue milk is like a party in your mouth. It's so good. The green one is like a business meeting where all you want to say is this should have been an email. That's the kind of joy you get out of the green milk. It's just not fun. Go with blue milk. Always. No, the blue milk. The blue is more creamy. The green was more of a melony flavor, and I'm just not a fan.
But there is a difference between the indoor blue milk at Oga's
There is
and
yes.
the blue milk out at the
Yes.
kiosk.
Yes, I believe the blue milk in Oga's, I think, is more allergy friendly and made
I
a slightly
think
different
so.
way. Now,
And
my
it's
child
not-
can
yeah.
can drink both of them. He's fine on both.
Oh, okay. So he can.
He's fine on both, but we really like the one in Oga's, and of course they serve it. You know, it's
With the-
$7, but it goes up to 13 when they put that little cookie on top.
It got a
goes up
cookie on
like
top,
like
yeah.
a blue bantha, I believe is what it's
It's
called.
blue bantha.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I just paid $6 for this cookie, and it's usually not fresh. It's usually more of a. It's usually you can tell. Okay, this
It's
cookie
the
is not as fresh as
experience.
I want it to be, but
It's
it's
the
still good.
experience.
Still good. Still the experience. Exactly. Anything else for Hollywood Studios? Because I didn't really have much.
No,
in
there's
Hollywood,
just
so.
there's not really a ton.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say there's not a ton in Hollywood Studios, but I mean, like I know a lot of people who, if you want alcoholic beverage, like head over to Baseline Tap
Yep.
House and various
Yep.
things. But if you're talking non-alcoholic beverages, I mean,
Mhm.
it's sort of like your standard stuff. But that
Yeah.
Frozen Coke, all
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, I agree. So
All
hopping
day.
over to Animal Kingdom, there are actually a lot in Animal Kingdom.
There
because
actually are a
they have
ton.
different restaurants and stuff, and
Yes.
a lot of them are just like, we'll make this with alcohol. We'll take the alcohol out, and you can still have a good drink, and that's kind of what it looks like.
Yes.
So, and I've got actually 3, and I'll just tell you. I'll mention first, of course, is the frozen Coke, and that's at Dishwalla. As
Okay.
you're coming across the bridge there, I
Mhm.
believe you're heading towards that junction where you can take a left to go to Africa, or take a
Mhm.
right and go to Asia. It's
Mhm.
right there in the corner. It's kind of a couple steps down. There it
Yep.
is. It's usually, I mean, it's right there, but it's almost hidden. You almost walk by it. They've got
It's easy to
alcohol there as well, but you can get a frozen Coke there. And we usually get one and then go to the Flights of Wonder or whatever it's called now, the Bird Up show.
Yeah, the Up show. Mhm.
Bird Up. It's across the exactly across the way. We go to that show with our frozen Cokes and stuff. So that's there. The other one I wrote down was the Night Blossom.
I have this one too. I have the Night Blossom. So
Yes.
good.
And so it's available at the Pongu drink
Pongu.
stand.
Mhm.
And it apparently translates to party in Navi, which is the language spoken by the native people of Pandora.
Yes.
It's limeade, apple, and pear flavors, and has tapioca flavored boba balls on top and all through. And it's
so good.
It's good. It's good. It's just
so
it's just a
good.
mixture of flavors, and it looks cool. It looks like
It's like layered colors.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It almost looks like a foreign country flag, of which I can't think of what that foreign country would be, but that's what it looks
With
like. It's
purple
like a layered
and
color.
like green.
Well, sure. But yeah, it's a fun looking drink, and the bubble balls are cool. I mean,
Or
like
pinkish, I guess.
it's bubble ball sounds like such a it
It
sounds
sounds-
stupid.
sound bad,
It's a
but
boba ball.
It's a boba
It's a
ball.
boba ball.
Yes.
But they're really good. That whole squishy thing. It's just.
And they just like pop. Yeah, they're good. I definitely
good.
had down the Night Blossom.
Do you have anything else on your list on Animal Kingdom?
Well, yes, one of the things though, you can actually get it other places other than Animal Kingdom, but Jungle Juice.
Yes. Yep. Jungle Juice.
Love Jungle Juice. Obviously get that at my gosh, Tusker House. Like if they have the
Yep.
breakfast, you can get that other locations as well. Up near Africa, it's not Dishwalla, it's oh my gosh. It's right in Africa. As you're walking in, you can get the Dole Whips there too.
Oh,
And I'm
is it-
just blanking.
Not like close to the Harambe Market, maybe.
It's near the Harambe Market, but I just can't think of what it's called. I'm going to kick myself because as soon as we're done podcasting, I'll be like normally I can access that like super fast. Give me a second. I'll come up with it. It'll be hidden. One other thing though, I got to shout out the iced tea at Tiffin's.
Okay.
It sounds so weird. There is some flavor in that iced tea. And we've asked before. I just don't remember what it is because Brady's like, this is really good. And I'll taste it. I'm like, this is really good. And I don't know how they blend it, what sort of tea it is, but it is fantastic iced tea. Like, it's not just like, and no offense, Lipton, but it's not just like your normal Lipton black tea, which I grew up on. Right. I'm not throwing shade at it. Like, it is so good. So unless they've changed it, it's fantastic.
It sounds really good. The other one I've got here, and I'm trying to find the details on it, is the Zingabar Freeze. You know what I'm talking about?
I've heard of it. I've not had it though.
I'm sorry, not the Freeze, the Fizzy. Zingabar Fizzy, and I'm trying to find the ingredients on that. Here it is. Basically, it's passion fruit puree, simple syrup, lime juice, and mint, topped off with a spicy ginger, like root beer, like beer flavor, whatever. And it's a mocktail.
Sounds good.
It's available at Animal Kingdom over the Nomad Lounge as well.
Okay.
And it's again, I'm not doing ice cream, but I don't mind doing slushies, and it is a freeze, and it's just really, really good. I've had this before.
Slushies is different. You're sipping through the straw.
Yeah, you're sipping through the straw, and it's good stuff. It really, really is, and it looks colorful and all flavor. And one of the most popular drinks at the Nomad Lounge, and Zingiber, the Zingabar Fizzy. It's worth it, and the spicy ginger beer on top is what makes it fizzy. Because if you never had ginger, it's a little like ooh. There's a couple of root beers that I can't drink because it just makes my lips tingle too much, and that's just uncomfortable when I'm drinking root beer. I don't want that.
You don't want that? Not so much.
I don't want that in my life. All right, so hopping over now to Magic Kingdom. There are actually several in Magic Kingdom.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. The most famous, of course, being Le Fou's Brew over at Gaston Tavern. It's frozen apple juice blended with subtle accents of toasted marshmallow and a foam topping. This, for me, is a little like butterbeer. Once you get past that foam, to me, the drink just becomes average. The foam makes it. The foam is so good. I drink the foam with the drink, and so it's not like I suck all the foam off, then I'm done. But once all the foam is gone, I'm about halfway down through the drink, and I'm like, okay, well now I'm just drinking kind of like spiced apple juice. That's really kind of it. Yeah. So it's good.
But the foam is so good.
Another one I have on my list and is over at Casey's Corner, the frozen mint julep lemonade. Lemonade paired with a garnishment of fresh mint leaves, lemon, and a cherry. And again, like the Fresca, it's just so light and so good and super good. And Casey's is one of those places, like, I love my corn dog nuggets. That's not a place I go to get drinks. But
I did. Okay, so
I'll get me one of these over
Casey's.
At Casey's Corner. So
I mean,
do you even know Casey's exists? Because that doesn't seem like a kind.
I do know Casey's exists because I walked through it.
In no way can they make corn dogs bougie. So I'm not sure that you're really familiar about how that works.
Well, I didn't say that. Listen, that's not funny.
It's true.
It's true though. I don't eat corn dog nuggets. I know
you don't. It's okay.
I just don't. But I walk through and I appreciate, because I used to watch Casey at the Bat, so I appreciate the nostalgia.
Right. So Casey's for me is lunch. Casey for you is a cutoff. I get it. I see.
Yeah. It's just I just cut right through. I mean, come on, that's what we're doing.
Exactly. So what is on your Magic Kingdom list?
Okay, so and whenever it's really hot, anti-gravities, depending on how you want to say it. Yes, anti-gravities. They have really nice options. Now, they do have floats. They do have like ice cream, but they also have like smoothies, and they have like shakes. So chocolate milkshake or the strawberry smoothie. And they've taken off. They used to have some other things. One, they used to have like a coffee sort of smoothie thing. It was good. But maybe they still have it. It's not listed online. I just pulled it up to see if it was listed, and maybe that was a casualty of COVID, but that is nice. Again, refreshing place to have. Very nice. Something.
Very nice. Well, my third one at Magic Kingdom is the Schweitzer Slush over at Magic Kingdom's Skipper Canteen. It's got frozen apple juice and passion fruit topped with juicy green, here we go again, bubble balls. bursting with flavor. And it's good. It's a cool looking drink. And they did have like a Schweitzer, like a dessert with bubble balls and stuff. And I think they took that dessert away, unfortunately, because I really like that dessert. But the But the drink is really, really good. Or Skipper Canteen. Again, it's light, refreshing. It's fun. It's something, and it comes with one of those really big straws. Those really like.
Oh yeah, well you
like
have to with the bubble balls.
Bubble balls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So really large straw. So I love me a Sweatshirt Falls. So LeFou's Brew, Mint Julep, and the Sweatshirt Slush are the three that you really need to go to Magic Kingdom. So your thoughts? What do you think?
Well, aside from that, LeFou's Brew and like the anti-gravities. I mean, I go for some of the ice cream stuff. So like Dole Whip floats. Dole Whip float is kind of a hybrid, I guess, because we do end up stirring it with the pineapple juice. So we're not just getting the whip, we're actually getting the beverage version of that Dole Whip.
Okay.
So same with the I Lava You float, which we've talked about before. So I know it's not traditionally a drink, but those are also things that we very much enjoy. But you do use a spoon a little bit with it.
Yeah. The unfortunate thing about some of these is that like, you want to get them and take pictures. Like I want to buy all of these to take pictures so I can post them because they're all Instagrammable. They're all like
they are.
They're all colored,
I have photos of some of them.
It's just it's like I've heard about the lava float. I want to try it, but I haven't been able to try it yet. And there's also unrelated. There's like a mermaid cupcake that's available, and I want to try that too because it looks cool. And they may not have that anymore.
I don't know if they have that one or not.
They had it. Maybe it was limited time. Sure. I don't know, but it looks cool. I want to try that, but I can never get down there to try this stuff. Anything else at Magic Kingdom?
Not offhand. Not that I can think of. I mean, it's aside from that, just at restaurants you're getting that. Some of the places have that really good iced tea too, but it's harder to find it in Magic Kingdom.
Well, let's look over now over at some of the resorts because there's a couple I wanted to mention here that I think are just awesome. One is over at Boardwalk. It's the Abracadabra Bar, the Magic Mirror, soda water, mango syrup, Sprite, and lime juice. Also refreshing because of the Sprite and because of the soda water and everything. So it is very tangy, it's very fizzy, but it's good. They have a version of this called the I've got it here called the Conjurita, which is orange liqueur, lime juice, and simple syrup. So it's purple. Both are purple. One has alcohol, one doesn't. But if you ever find yourself at the Abracadabra Bar, or you're with friends, or
over at the Boardwalk,
over at the Boardwalk. I'm with a group of friends. They're all trying to peer pressure me into purchasing something I don't want to drink. I'll just get myself a Magic Mirror, and it's good stuff. So I don't know if you have any resorts listed, but I've got a couple here.
Yeah, I do. Although I don't know because you put the kibosh on the shakes earlier in the episode, and I was like, well, shoot, I had shakes from West Spring Canyon.
So Jen, give me a couple of shakes. Seriously, like go ahead and throw a couple of shakes.
They had caramel shakes.
Favorites.
Caramel shakes at Whispering Canyon Cafe.
Oh, okay.
Bottomless shakes. Now they used to have caramel. Shakes. It's been a couple of years, like it's since like pre-COVID, so maybe they've not offering the caramel shakes, but those were really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have you ever had the peanut butter and jelly shake over at Prime Time?
No, I've heard it's really good, but because of Brady's peanut allergy, I don't normally order it.
Gotcha.
Stuff with peanut butter.
It's one of those like I've had it, and it's one of those where I can drink about half of it, and it's really good. But then I get tired.
But then you're like,
taste.
it's too much.
It reminds me, and this is the only way these two things are related, but it does remind me. The last time I got a foot-long seafood sub at Subway. About halfway through it, I'm like, this is pretty good. And by 7 inches into the foot long, I'm like, I'm tired. I don't want to eat this anymore.
Like I'm done. Yeah.
And I haven't had one in like 15 years, 20 years. So that was kind of the thing with peanut butter and jelly. It was thick and sweet. It was really good, but it was too much.
It is too much. It's like you needed a small amount.
That or split it with like 3 or 4 people. Split it with several people and do it that way. And so that's the best way to do it. Okay, so the Bullfrog Brew over at Muddy Rivers Poolside Bar at Port Orleans.
Oh,
lemonade, green apple, and kiwi. You can even serve it, and they actually have it in a souvenir mason jar.
Okay,
it's really good. It's very fruity. It is for certain tastes because only certain people like kiwi, and
that's true.
Pretty okay on kiwi. Kiwi, it's good. It's light though. I like it. I like the juices and everything.
Oh, that sounds nice.
That's kind of fun.
I've got one from the Polynesian.
Oh,
of course I do. I love the Kona coffee. The French press, of course. So you go to Kona Cafe for your breakfast and you get the press pot, Kona coffee. Fabulous.
Nice.
I mean, of course, I'm going to have coffee.
Of course you are. Of course. Now, I will say that going back to Hollywood, they have the Black Spire Brew over at yeah. I didn't like it. It's too much. It's too strong.
I haven't had it.
I didn't care for it. I did not. And
okay.
I felt silly. I'm like, can I get a little bit of cream and sugar for this? I felt silly doing that because of how they serve it. Just Not a fan.
Well, if it's
not
too
a fan.
much,
It's,
I mean,
it's got Joffrey's, but it's also got honey, passion fruit, citrus, and falernum in it.
what's
It's
falernum?
just I don't know, but I didn't like it.
Oh.
So I didn't.
I mean, like
it.
you have, like I'm fine with honey in coffee because I've done that.
So, finally, the final thing I have on my list here, of course, is the Polynesian Punch over at Trader Sam's Grotto.
Yes.
It's guava, pineapple, and lemon juice. Now, you really have to like that guava. If you don't like the pog juice or the juice and everything, Animal Kingdom and stuff, you're not going to like
You're
this.
not gonna like it.
It's a very strong flavor to it, and to me, it's a little thick. So this is not something I'm going to walk around drinking when it's 144 degrees in the shade.
But you'll drink milk.
But I'll drink milk. Of course, I drink milk. Well, not at Disney World; it's too expensive. But but no, it's those are good too over Trader Sam's if you can get in, of course. Oh, and one that I missed, and I think this is just fun for the aesthetics of it, is the carbon freeze, the lemon lime, the wild strawberry, the blueberry, and the green apple with the popping pearls at Ogre's
I forgot
Cantina.
about that one.
And it's smoky and it's fizzly and it's
cool.
like it's really really good.
I
It's a
forgot
great
about
thing to
that
take video of, and it's a lot of fun. So, any other drinks, regardless of where you go, on your list?
I think we hit like all of my top ones, really. So, I mean, and I'm sure that there are some that I've had from previous flower and garden festivals or food and wine festivals or
Right.
whatever. I'm just not thinking of because sometimes they change from year to year
They
and you
do.
don't get the same thing. Like I know at Christmas time, I've had some really good, like, peppermint hot chocolates and things of that nature
Mhm.
at various booths, but nothing that I'm like, oh, it's this name and it's like a signature thing that's always back. I mean, like the violet lemonade.
Right.
They have that year to year,
Right.
but
All right, so here you go. We're gonna make our own little passports here.
okay.
The one drink, and they can be separate. They can be the same. They can be separate. We
Okay.
don't have to pick different things here. But for Epcot, I'm gonna go with the violet lemonade. If you only get one drink out of Epcot, I'm gonna go with a violet lemonade.
Okay.
What is your pick at Epcot to tell people, like, for your little passport? You're like, here's the drinks you need to
Oh
get.
no, I'm agreeing. It's violet lemonade.
Very
At
good.
Epcot,
All
it's
right.
definitely violet lemonade.
Violet lemonade. Okay, so for Magic Kingdom, I'm going to say the mint julep slushy. The mint julep slushy there at Casey's Corner.
Okay. And I'm gonna put LeFou's Brew.
LaFru's Brew. Okay. LaFru's Brew. Hollywood Studios, of course, I'm going to go with the blue milk because I'm a blue milk fan and I put that above everything. Do you want to go with that or the other one you picked?
No, I'm gonna go with frozen Coke.
Frozen Coke. Very good. Frozen Coke. Animal Kingdom. I probably am
one's
going to go
hard.
with a Night Blossom for Animal Kingdom just because it's fun and it's different. So I'll say Night Blossom on that. But if you said, I almost said
No.
Frozen Coke on that one, but
Yeah, but I said
I'll go with
frozen.
the
You
Night
know
Blossom.
what? Is it bad that I want to agree with you? Because I really
No,
do
it's
feel
okay.
like
You can
I
do
really feel like the Night Blossom is the one that you need to try.
I think
on
so.
that one.
I,
It's so
I
good.
Agree. I agree. And so outside of the park, be it Disney Springs, be it at resorts or whatever, I'm probably going to go with that Magic Mirror at Boardwalk at the Abracadabra Bar, which you could probably get it in most of the places there. I mean, like in the bars and stuff, they probably can mix you one or whatever. But I like the purpleness of the drink. I like it's fun and light. So I'm going to say the Magic Mirror for outside the park. And what is your pick on the
For
drink?
outside the park, oh gosh, that's tough. Honestly, just 'cause there's no coffee on this list, so I'm putting coffee on there. I'm saying Kona coffee, press
Kona
pot,
coffee.
Kona coffee,
Kona
because
coffee.
we need to have some representation for my favorite beverage.
And we both agree for number 6 on this passport that you have, the Main Street Electrical Podcast, non-alcoholic drink passport. Put that all on a card. Joffrey's Coffee is on that list. You got it.
100%, but you can get that all over, so we don't want
Matter of fact, I'll make the offer for Jen. If somebody wants to go and do all 10 of these or all 8 of these or how many they are, with little punch cards, send it to Jen. She'll buy you a Joffrey's Coffee. Yeah, that's for.
Do you love how he does this to me,
We
guys?
didn't really talk about this previously, so I'm just going to go with it and hope that it's right. So. So there you go, folks. Have yourself a drinky little time there. If you decide not to get alcohol, which you can, and there's a lot of drinks out there that are
plenty
really
of
good.
great ones.
I'm not going to be like, here's my top 5 alcoholic drinks, but I will tell you that the Bailey's coffee over in Ireland during some of the festivals is fantastic. It is so super good because it's got the little chocolate shavings in there and everything. And Agent Kyla was like, here, hold this for me when she was doing something else. And I held it, and when she got it back, it was half gone. I'm like, I'm sorry, it's good.
Oops.
Oops, sir. That's your fault. You gave it to me. If you're looking for recommendations and places to go and things to drink with alcohol, without alcohol, or just how to plan a trip, let us know. We'd be happy to help you. Upon Star Travel and Concierge is our home base. That, of course, is the place that Jen owns. I just work here. It's Jen's Wordle. We just work in it, which is great. So it's our little travel agency full of wonderful, wonderful people. Upon Star Travel, find that on Instagram at the.com, uponstartravel.com. That's our website. Go there and just be like, hey, I need some help. Info at uponstartravel.com. We're happy to help you with any of your trips and give you lots and lots and lots of drink drink and food and planning recommendations because that's what we do. We want to help you plan your trip. Of course, find me at the Magic on $1 on Instagram and seize a picture of some of these because I did a little celebratory post for Margarita Day. So go find some of the pictures of some of these. And of course, the website is themsepodcast.com. That's our website. Go to there and get the show notes, and you'll find a few links there. Find out about us as well. Of course, the MSE Podcast at Instagram, on Twitter, and on Facebook. We're all on those type places. Jen, I know that people are going to be clamoring to find your pictures and stuff over whatever you can take from the Star Wars Cruiser. So where can we find you?
Well, you can find me at Upon a Star Jen. My personal Instagram is at Jen_Novotny. Yes, I just looked and realized that my Instagram has been extremely quiet because we've been moving, working, all sorts of things. But don't worry, about to pick back up because I'll be traveling. So that's what I'm very, very good about posting.
Very nice. Okay, so quick update. How's the house? How's the house coming?
It is coming slowly, but it is coming. So we've got some more selections to pick out, and still crashing here with my parents while we're getting everything built.
Very nice. Now, and one final question. I mean, you might have already answered this, but I probably wasn't listening. So when is the construction going on the house itself going to start? Like when is that point where you're like, okay, we're rolling now. We're going. Things are good.
Should be breaking ground in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I think.
Very nice.
I think
very cool.
So they had said by March. It's definitely not February at this point, so I'm guessing March.
Very cool. Well, congratulations on that. I'm
Thank
excited
you.
for you guys, and we'll be following all along because people want to know about your house. As a reminder, folks, it's been 1,179 days since the Walt Disney World Railroad ran through the parks with guests. Of course, it was running, apparently testing not too long ago, but I haven't heard anything since. But yeah, almost 1,200 days, and I'm just like, it'll probably be close to 1,300 at least before we finally get there. But yeah, with that sadness, let's go all have a drink, non-alcoholic or not. So let's go have a drink. I'm Dave, and that's Jen, and of course, hey, don't forget to thank your Phoenicians.
Thank you for listening to the Main Street Electrical Podcast. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at the MSE Podcast, or visit our website at themsepodcast.com. Be sure to subscribe, and may all your wishes come true.